Hey everybody, welcome back to In Bed with the Millennial. I'm the Millennial, Javeda Bay, and this is my bed. And I hyped up the anal August content, and then I dropped the ball. But I was traveling, and the content I had filmed, I just didn't feel good about. So I was like, I'm not giving that to y'all. Like, y'all deserve good content. And it just wasn't up to Javed par. And I apologize, that's my bad. But because of that, y'all get like a 2-in-1 today for In Bed with the Millennial. Because I was supposed to do a whole episode talking all about anal training, and then a whole nother episode on how to have successful anal play. But obviously those two did not happen, so you get them in one. Because I'm not gonna skimp y'all on the information. So let's get into it. Okay, so obviously I started the month talking about the anatomy of the anus so that way you could understand it, to understand how pleasure happens from anal play. And a key part of that is anal training, which is what you do to relax the anal sphincter so that way penetrative anal play is actually pleasurable, and you don't end up being one of the people that's like, oh, I tried it, it was terrible, I'll never do it again. And that's usually because they didn't do the prep work beforehand. So I'm going to teach you right now how to do the prep work so that way you can anal train to have the most pleasurable anal sex possible. Okay? So what is anal training? It is the training of your anus, the anal sphincters, so that way you can take those bouncers that be on guard and put them on break so that way you can enjoy penetrative anal play. And there's a process that I like to recommend and how to go about anal training, because you got to work your way up. You can't just like jump to one stage and skip all the others. So first things first, you're going to get your lube. I recommend a water-based lube just so that way you never have to worry about if it works with materials, but like whatever lube you want to use, go ahead and get that. And all you need to begin with is just your fingers. You're going to start anal training by massaging the rim of your anus, because this is going to help to relax the first sphincter so that way it makes it easier for penetrative play. And you might be wondering like, okay, well, how will I know? Like, how long do I do this? Everybody is different. Literally, every physical body is going to be different. So everybody is different. Some people, they can massage for like 2 to 3 minutes and then the sphincter's like, oh, okay. Other people, it might take a little bit more time, anywhere between like 5-10 minutes maybe. Also, a part that plays into that is how well you are relaxed. If you're going into this like high stress, like, oh my gosh, I'm dreading this, it's going to take a longer process because you're already tense, which means you're already tensing your anal sphincters. But if you are coming into it relaxed and ready to like go with the flow of the experience, it'll probably take less time. So make sure you're relaxed before you start doing it. So after your dedicated time of massaging the rim of the anus, you are then going to move into penetrating the anus. Again, putting more lube on your finger. I recommend just starting by going at least like to the line or to like the middle of the second chunk of your finger as you're going in and out. And this motion is going to further relax the first sphincter and like let the second sphincter know like, hey, we've got company coming. And so you'll be going the in and out thrusting motions, but also circling while inside of the anus. Again, this is going to take some time and it's going to be dependent on your body on how long it takes. Some people, they can do this for like 3 to 5 minutes and be like, oh, okay, I feel relaxed. My like the bouncers are on break. I can like proceed. Other people, it's like, I'm still feeling a little tense, so keep going. You will definitely be able to tell when you're feeling a little bit more relaxed in the sense that it's naturally happening and you're like mentally like actively making your butt relax, if that makes sense. So after you reach a certain threshold and you're like, oh wait, no, this feels relaxed, I can easily glide my finger in and out and go a little deeper without things getting tense or tightening up, then you're like, okay, I'm a little bit more anal trained. Now, depending on what your goal is with anal play, if you're trying to anal train for penetrative play with a toy or a partner, then I recommend anal training with anal beads, because beads are going to get you used to something being further inside of you. Because if you're doing penetrative anal play, especially with a partner, there is depth involved. Things are going to deeper regions of the body. So anal beads get you used to that sensation, because for a lot of people, that sensation is the one that they're like, oh, this is not, I don't know, no, stop now, because people are not used to that feeling of something being further inside of them in that area. So anal beads help you with that, and you can use a wide variety of ones, vibrating ones that don't vibrate, but they can help you get used to depth. If your goal is just to get to use different butt plugs, then using butt plugs to continue your anal training is a great way to go. And I recommend getting an anal training set. So that's going to be usually like a set that has 3 or more butt plugs in it. And you are going to use those butt plugs. So you'll just take the first one and use it like you were doing with your finger, but instead you're just going to go in and out with the butt plug to get those fingers used to that. And as you do it and as time progresses, you'll be like, oh, okay, I feel good with this. And then after you've put it in and you've had it in for a minute and you're adjusted to that, then you can move up to the next size. And then you just can repeat the process until you work your way through all the different butt plugs that you have until you get to your desired size. And if you were training for like just to wear butt plugs for longer amounts of time, then I also recommend keeping them in for a little while before you switch to the next size up. So if the goal is to get to some very big fat butt plug or a specific size like vibrating butt plug that you want to use, keeping the butt plugs in while training for a little bit longer. So instead of just immediately being like, oh, I can feel that the muscles are relaxed enough and stretched enough for me to go to the next plug, you actually leave it in for a little bit so you get used to the feeling of something being worn inside for extended amounts of time. I would say no more than like 5 minutes as you're getting started. And make sure you are applying a generous amount of lube because the anus is not self-lubricating. So lube is still needed throughout every step of this process. It's not just like I massage, I don't need lube anymore. No, you need lube every time you're putting anything in. But you are going to want to either have anal beads or butt plugs when anal training, depending on what your goal is. So make sure you're taking some time to think about that. Or if you're like, I don't really know, but I want to be prepared for everything. Anal train with everything. Start with the beads, then move to the plugs. Do some plugs, and then put in some beads, and then switch back to plugs. It's your anal training journey. Take it however you want. But that is like the quick lowdown on anal training. And as you do it more frequently and more often, your body gets more used to it and will better be able to anticipate like, oh snap, they're massaging us. That means that there's going to be some butt stuff happening. And then you won't necessarily have to go through the entire process every time you're trying to do some butt stuff. Just like some steps of it, like especially like the initial like massaging to be like, hey, wake up. Some fun stuff's about to happen back here. But anal training is an individual process. Some people are just like really quick and easy. They've been doing it for a while. They know it works. They go through and do it and they're ready to rock and roll. Some people, it's a very new process and it takes time. And that is okay. You do not have to finish anal training, like finish, like is there ever really finished? I would say no. You don't have to finish it in one day. You can take your time and work up to it. There's a lot of things that can be done in the process of anal training that aren't just penetrative anal play with a partner or by yourself. Like you can do so much to experience anal pleasure while anal training. Also, anal beads are really great if you're looking for the pleasure aspect of this. Anal beads. But yeah, so anal training is like the start of the recipe. It's like having the yeast to make bread. Without yeast, it don't rise, it ain't bread. You need anal training if you were going to have a successful anal play experience. That includes penetrative play. I recommend anal training for all forms of anal play, not just penetrative, because you never really know what's going to happen. And I would rather you be prepared than something happening. You're like, oh no, you know? So go start with anal training. That is the start to successful anal play. Is that you anal trained. Some other very important pieces of this recipe. Communication is going to be number one. If you were doing any type of anal play with a partner, communicating, because you need to be able to tell them if something doesn't feel right, if something's going wrong, if you need to slow it down, you need to go back a few steps, whatever it is, you got to communicate. Backdoor is like the final frontier. You have got to make sure you're communicating so things don't go awry and then your spaceship is just afloat in the Delta Quadrant. You don't want that. I don't want that for you. So make sure you're communicating. And it doesn't have to be like this super extensive, like, okay, I think like you ain't got to give like a full play by play, like, hey, something just like feels a little different or a little off for me. Can we like slow down, or like, can you add some more lube? Like you can try troubleshooting if something feels wrong, but if something feels like painfully wrong, stop. That's your body telling you something, and you should listen to your body. Another key ingredient of successful anal play, again, is lube. The anus is not self-lubricating. So unlike the vagina, it doesn't mean that like just because you're ready to rock and roll, it's gonna be slippy slidey all up in there. No, the anus is like baby boo, no, I'm just here. I'm not making anything. I'm just protecting things. So you got to make sure that you are prepared and you have lube. Whether you are at home, if you got, I recommend a travel lube always, in case you're just like, you never know when like anal play might happen. Have lube. Now, what did I say you need to have? Lube. Yes, lube is crucial for anal play because it's not self-lubricating, and also it helps to mitigate the chances of there being anal fissures, which are little micro tears that can happen in the anus, which makes the anus more susceptible to STIs and other bacteria and things of that nature. So we don't want that. So just have the lube, use the lube. Also, another great thing that is important for the success of anal play is trying different positions. Not everything is going to feel great when it comes to anal play in every position. So you got to experiment, figure out what feels good for you. Are you a legs pulled up towards my chest type of anal play person? Are you all fours on doggy? Are you laying on your side? What is it that works best for you, and do that. I know that porn likes to make it seem like you can do everything in any old position. That's not the case. All bodies are different, and what feels good for somebody's might not feel good for others, and that goes for positions. So don't be afraid to try out a lot of different things. You don't have to just go with the first thing just because you're like, well, this is what we ended up in. Okay, but if it's not doing it for you, switch it up, especially because we all have different bodies and you want to make sure you can reach what you're trying to do, especially for solo anal play. Not every position works for everybody. Some people have longer arms than others. Some people have shorter torsos, and reach is different. So just make sure you're paying attention to what your body can do, what feels good for your body, and do that. And don't be afraid to try a lot of different things. And in that same vein, please remember that anal play is a marathon, not a sprint. You do not need to be rushing through this process to get to the biggest, most giant butt plug that you saw on B-Vibe's website, just because you want to see if you can do it. I support you in trying to see if you can do it, but I support you in taking your time to figure that out. You do not have to accomplish all your anal play goals in one sitting. Also, your butt will appreciate it if you don't. It is a butt after all. Like, your booty needs some breaks sometimes too. So remember that it is a marathon and not a sprint, and to take your time. But yeah, one last piece in terms of successful anal play is to never use anything that says numbing. You will probably see a lot of places carrying numbing creams, numbing lubes, and other things that you can put on your anus to make it easier to have anal. No. Do you remember what I said about how you need to communicate, and if you felt like something was off, you need to tell your partner? You cannot do that if you are using numbing products. Numbing products take away the feeling, so you don't know something is actually going awry, and we don't want that. You need to be able to be in touch with your body, to be able to listen to it and be like, you know what? Nope, too hard, too soon, too fast, whatever it might be. You need to be able to communicate that. So please, for the love of everything precious, avoid all numbing products. If you want to get relaxing products, absolutely fine. I highly recommend Intimate Earth's relaxing lubes. They are amazing for anal play, but nothing that says numbing. You don't need to be numb. Why are you doing it if you want to be numb? Then you're not feeling it. Nothing numbing, okay? But however you go about it, just please take your time. Listen to your body. Listen to your partner. Communicate with your partner. And know that this does not have to be done by a certain date. There is no, oh my gosh, if I don't do this type of anal play by this date, my world's over. No, it's not. No, it's not. You have all the time in the world to do as much anal play as you want to do. So take that time. But yeah, that is that. I know, I was gone. I'm sorry. But I'm back. Okay? I only have like one more trip, and then I'm no more trips. But I'm going to make sure my content's done before that trip. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm back. More content on the regular. Back to school, which means even more PhD content if you're after that. And definitely make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter because in case anything happens on them social media sites, that's where I'm going to be. And definitely make sure that you're following me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere you can think of, I'm on it. Not everywhere, because I'm not on these new sites. I'm not authorized or anything like that. But all the OG ones, catch me on there, which means more sex ed content on there. And definitely make sure you come back on Wednesday, because I got a new episode of On the Road to Dr. Effin. And definitely come back next Monday for an all new episode of In Bed with a Millennial. But until then, I'm going to see you later. Deuces.